Oh, I totally forgot about
It
it.
was such a funny video.
So why do you watch a video when you are in a car ride?
You were in the car.
Oh,
It was on the drive.
that's right.
Hi, guys. Thanks for joining. This is Essence of Life. Today, we're going to be talking about how we see the world. I'm Amanda Armagost.
And I'm Dr. Abbasi for Essence.
So, this is going to be a very quick one. We're each going to answer one question. And this is a question that I'm pretty excited to hear Dr. Abbasi's answer. I think I already know it.
All right, this is the first time I hear it, so it'll be surprising to me as to you.
And so, this is an ethics question. Can there be a universal moral code, or is it morality, or is morality? I'm sorry. Is there a universal moral code, or is morality culturally relative?
And wow, I could talk the whole day and the whole week and the whole month about that, because that is the most profound question philosophers are asking themselves. If you ask philosophers that are religious based, they say yes. And the truth of the moral code comes from superior being, God, that is just passed down, that code does exist and it is unchangeable. And it's just, we just have to find it. We just have to believe in that. We just have to comply with that. But there is a lots of other philosophers that say that that is culturally based. That's based on your environment, and that is not a true definition of that. And if you listen to the philosophers, each of them have good argument for or against that. There are as well philosophers that they say, yes, there is a universal code without the being based on a religious tenet of a superior being dictating it down to you. And I would say the best definition that I have heard of that is trivial. Says, do to others what you want them to do to you.
Yeah.
Which is as well in the Bible. By the way, I think this question is way deeper than it just sounds.
And it's way deeper than only 20 minutes.
Yes, but and your question is, is there a universal code that applies to everybody?
Well, yeah, the way that I was thinking about the question when I was reading it, like when I was thinking about my answer, is like if religion is completely removed, can we still have a moral code? Or would there still be a moral code? If there were no cultures, like if all of the continents were combined as one and we were all truly one, like no tribes, like nothing like that. We were all one.
Well,
would there still be a moral code
let's look at the earth.
to an outsider?
Let's look at the earth. The Scandinavian, they are the least religious people on the earth. Are they without morality? The Japanese are extremely unreligious. Don't they have morals?
Right.
So that question is, you don't need to be, that question is doesn't have to be philosophical. That question is, look at the earth.
But are there morals?
But you can have, well, in many regards, Japanese are the people who steal least, or Scandinavian are the most least corrupt and least, literally in Japan, you can put your wallet, and they did those tests in a phone booth or wherever in a restaurant. Come back 3 hours later, and your laptop's still there. Try to do that in many religious places and see what the result is. That now the fact is,
Wait, sorry, but do you know like the criminal offense? Like what happens if you steal someone's wallet in Japan?
they don't kill you or chop your hand like in Saudi Arabia. No, but what I'm getting at, yes, the religion can give people moral direction. And I'm happy that many people find that moral direction in the religion. But I don't believe that's the only way, at least our observation on this planet tells us that's not the only way you get to a moral platform to live. As many of the countries on the earth show that the corruption is least in a Scandinavian country or in Japan, and and some of but as well, the Saudi Arabia is one of the most religious place on the earth. You can as well put your stuff there, nobody steals. So you can get to both in both with both the kind of situation. You can create a moral platform. Now the question is again, if you the core of your question is.
Do you want me to repeat the question again?
No, I think I understood the core of the question is that if there is a universal code.
Yeah, can there be a universal moral code, or is morality culturally relative?
I think this is my belief now. I told you that philosophers go both directions.
Yeah,
Some philosopher says absolutely means nothing. It's just what we made up. The other says, yes, it matters. And to people who say it matters, some say it matters because a superior being gave it to us. And some people say, no, we can internally come to that question that, yes, there is a universal moral. I am probably more in that camp that I say, yes, there is a universal code of morality that it, but then we culturally put a different paint on it. It's the same car. It's maybe green, it's maybe yellow, and so on. Like, let me give you an example. We are appalled that people that in some countries now, 12-year-old they marry 12-year-old girls, right?
yeah,
They used to do that in the United States just 100 years ago.
yeah,
We are appalled that we say, that you would kill somebody by just because of they
money.
say something. They say something. You will kill somebody. Well, we burned them on stake in Massachusetts
For having moles on their arms, like
and
freckles.
and you see where I'm going
Yeah.
here. I think we are sometimes too fast to judge people or group of people based on their habits now, where we weren't that far away from them ourselves. Now we have the superior moral stance and the
Yeah.
superiority to judge other people. Now, still, I'm not saying it's okay to marry the 12-year-old girls. I think we have grown above and beyond that, but we have to allow these cultures to develop. They have their internal development. We can help them to get to that level that say, you know what? Let the girls have education. Let them have a saying in their future and so on. And we can give them, whatever we can. But I can just tell you, if we try to, like, democracy, right? Let's talk about something that we all love, democracy. Democracy is good, right? Well, it is good for us. We tried to pass it to Iraq and Libya and so on, and we saw what a disaster it became, because that culture at that level, it wasn't really something that they were ready for. Whereas if you help them in their development to get to that point, then it comes more natural, and their democracy doesn't have to look like our democracy. So, but still, it is a good thing. We know it's a good thing if the group of people can influence their own life. If they can, and with anything else in morality, I would say, yes, there is a core of it that I think is universal, but what we build, how we package it, can look in many different ways. So I'm not sure if you understand what I mean by that, but it come back to that thing that's in the Bible. So do to others what you wish to be done to you.
And in kindergarten, we call it the golden rule.
Yeah. And so you answered my question. That code of morality is a kindergarten level knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that we can have a universal morality. I think that your morals should remain the same whether or not, like, when I think of religion impacting cultural or impacting morality, my view is if God is here versus if he's not here, you should still remain the same. If your morals are that you have morals from this higher being, and all of a sudden you find out that this higher being, like maybe if it doesn't exist, you're striking chaos, it's the purge, then your morals didn't exist in the first place. I think morals should be there with or without culture, with or without religion.
Well, that is a good way of thinking about that you should do the right thing no matter if somebody else tells you or you should be doing that and so on and so forth. I'm a more pragmatist about that. I say you should not kill people, you should not steal from people. I don't care how you justify that there
Yeah.
is money there, you don't take it. There's a person you can kill and take all he has, but you don't do it. The reason why you don't do that, I don't really care. As long as you don't kill them
Yeah.
and take their stuff, you can come to that conclusion however you want to come. And I don't judge you how you come to that conclusion. So,
But it's a conclusion that the question is universal moral code. So it's a conclusion that we should all be able to come to if it's a
don't kill, don't
universal.
steal.
Right. If it's universal, that's the question. Like, can there be a universal moral code? And so you're saying, yeah, there can be. You don't care how it comes, but it's
Yes.
a moral code.
Well, and I think it's very simple and very easy. But again, if you dive deep into that's like a bottomless ocean. Philosophers have been dedicating their life to answer that question that we are just casually talking about it right
Mhm.
now.
Okay, we only have 10 more minutes, but I want to actually ask this next one it's still in the ethics realm.
Mhm.
Is it possible to do something truly selfless, or are all actions ultimately motivated by self-interest?
Now, before we answer that, I'm going to go to our previous question. Remember?
Mhm.
Do to others what you wish to be done to you. What does that require? That requires you being able to put your frame of mind of somebody else in your head and see
How you would feel.
how you would feel. There's a word for that.
Empathy.
Empathy. So now, the empathy enables you is a tool, a measurement tools that enables you to have a moral code. Now, having said that, empathy, and now we come to this question you just asked. And the core of the question that you ask is, can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, can you really do something
Selfless?
selflessly, or are all of your actions like self-interest, motivated by self-interest? Like when I ask you that question, I'm thinking about when I help an old person, it makes me feel good. Am
Okay.
I doing it because I want to help that old person, or am I doing it because I have this reward this intrinsic reward that obviously I'm going to feel good if I do this. So I could pass by the person and not take the time,
Okay.
or I can pause and do it.
Okay. So let me separate that in two categories. Imagine there is an old person. That person needs help. And then there are cameras there that they're looking at your reaction. And you go and help that old person so the camera capture you,
Mhm.
and then you get the external reward.
Yeah.
Then I would say that is just a show, and we have names for that, we have things of that people are pretentious and so on. That is not really selfless in any way. But imagine now you truly that internal reward, meaning that internal serotonin or internal hormone boost, it gives you joy to do something good for other people.
Yeah.
Now, that for me it still counts as you're being selfless, because at the end of the day, our brains react based on chemicals.
Mhm.
Meaning that at the end of the day, as long as you do the right thing, you see, again, coming back to that, I care about your action and the consequence of your action. You're helping another person. I don't care if internally you do it because it just feels good to you, or you do it because some magical things is that you're just being selfless and so on. Because I don't believe that really exists.
So because the question
Mother
is,
Teresa, whatever she did because it made her feel good.
yeah.
And that is in the brain, that some chemical got produced that it makes her good. It still has a value. It is still like
Well, the question isn't like, does doing something good have value regardless? Because obviously it does. The question is, can you truly do something selfless? So you're still having this reward. So your belief is that it's not truly selfless, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But that last part isn't part of the question. Is it truly selfless? Is the question.
Well, that is again come to the meaning of what does it mean selfless? What does that mean?
Like you have a reward.
So yeah, like you go and help that
Like, for
person,
instance,
you feel horrible that you help that person.
Yeah, that's my argument. This is actually my argument, is a lot of times I will do something for someone that actually makes me in a worse mood. Like now I'm inconvenienced. Now my day, like, okay, this isn't a very specific specific one, but for instance, my grandma.
Oh, grandma, don't watch
No,
this
let's
episode.
say my grandma.
Ooh, that's
Okay. Let's say my grandma needs me to drive her somewhere, but I'm already in a rush, but she still needs to make it to her doctor's appointment. So I cancel my plans with my friends to take my grandma to the doctor. And now I feel bad for myself and for my friends because I canceled my plans with her, but I had to take my grandma to the doctor because there was no other way she's going to get there. To me, that is being selfless because I'm not gaining anything from that. Like I'm actually losing.
So why do you do that?
Because my grandma needs it. Because if I don't
So
take
there
her,
is something in your brain that says the grandma's needs are superior to your needs.
or to my grandma's needs are superior to my wants, is what it is. Because she needs to go to the doctor. I want to hang out with my friends.
And I can guarantee you, when you do that, some hormones in your brain increase. And even though you think you don't feel good, it makes you feel good that you did something for your grandma, who you love so much.
So it's still, and that was my second half of my argument, is that it's still not truly selfless.
No, I
Because
think
at
it's
the end of the day,
selfless.
no, it's not, it's truly not. To be truly selfless means I'm not gaining anything from it. So if I did that for someone I didn't know and I never saw them again or something, maybe that would be, but I can see how there's no selflessness.
So, well, let me tell you how I define that. I define that selfless or not selfless based on external gains. Anything internal, I want you to feel good when you help your grandma. If you help your grandma and you feel horrible, I have no moral instinct to call it good or bad and so on, but I want the people feel good to do good.
Yeah.
So if you feel bad to do good, now imagine you do something good and you feel horrible doing something good. Wow, maleficent, no, who are you? Are you Grinch? Are you, I don't want you to be the evil person who feels bad to do good. I want you to feel good to do good.
Yeah.
Not to feel bad to do good. So
what if you feel nothing? What if you are someone who, like, if you maybe are a
are you
sociopath?
human still if you feel nothing?
Yes. Do you know that there's some people that have different chemical balances in their brain?
I'm sure they do, but that's not the majority of the people.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to your question, my instance to call it selfless or not is based on external gain.
Okay.
So if you do it because cameras are looking at that, I know you're not going to do that if the cameras are not looking. If you're doing it to get the tax benefit, as soon as the tax benefit is removed, you're not going to do that. But if you are going to do it for internal gain, because your hormone make you feel good, like you help somebody who needs help, you're still going to do that if the government changed the tax code, if the cameras are removed.
If the world ended tomorrow, you would still do it.
And that's what Martin Luther said. If the world they're not no Martin Luther King, but the
know.
Martin Luther original. If the world would end tomorrow, I still would plant a tree today.
I think that that is the definition of true selflessness, is doing something today, even if tomorrow it doesn't even matter that you did it.
And if you feel good doing that, be my guest, even better, because then you are going to keep doing it.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, that was Essence of Life. We talked about how we see the world. I'm Amanda Armagast.
I'm Dr. Abbas for Essence.
Thanks.